Hello and welcome to our interview. Today we have a very special guest who has joined us. She is student of English literature. Hello Shifara, welcome to the show.
Hello, sir.
Okay Shifara, what's your hobby and what are your favorite theme in literature at present?
I am reading the poem Daddy, written by the American poet Sylvia Plath, which carries the following themes: gender and oppression, power and myth making, death and memory.
Yeah, who is the narrator?
The narrator is a female who takes the role of a daughter.
Where was where was the author born?
Sylvia Plath was born in Boston, Massachusetts.
When was the writer born?
She was born on October 27, 1932, to highly intelligent parents.
Okay, let me know about her parents.
Yeah, definitely. Her father, Otto Plath, was a German immigrant and a professor of entomology at Boston University. Her mother, Aurelia, was the daughter of Austrian immigrants, and she taught German and English at high school.
Does she have any siblings?
Yeah, she had a brother. His name is Warren Plath.
Is Sylvia Plath married?
Yeah, why not? She married the British poet Ted Hughes.
How many children does she have?
Hughes and Plath had two children, a daughter and son, and their names are Frida, Rebecca, Nicholas, Claire.
Can you mention some major works produced by the author?
Yeah, she is mainly known for her poetry rather than literary works. Her most famous poetry is Lady Lazarus and Daddy. This doesn't mean she doesn't know to write a novel. In fact, her novel, The Bell Jar, was quite popular in mid-20th century.
When was the poem Daddy published?
Sylvia Plath's poem Daddy appeared in her collection Ariel, which was published in 1965, but originally written in October 1962.
Okay, Sipara, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening to you all. Today we are going to discuss about the poem Daddy. The Daddy poem was written by famous American female poet Sylvia Plath in 1962. First of all, I would like to know about the title. What do you think about the title?
The word daddy rather than father or dad can signify both affection and childishness. Also, it recalls a sense of addiction and control.
Nice. In this poem, the writer has indicated about fascism. Do you agree?
Yes, I agreed.
Can you explain?
Fascism indicates a way of organizing a society in which a government ruled by a dictator. He controls the lives of the people, and the people are not allowed to disagree with the government. Here, in this poem, the father has been an oppressor in his daughter's life. This exhibits fascism which has been exercised.
Good. Can you explain how does the narrator connect fascism in this poem?
In my poem, here in this poem, the father has been an oppressor in his daughter's life. This exhibits fascism which has been exercised. Here, the speaker compares herself to a Jew and her father as a German dictator in 7th stanza because her father was a German man. In the 9th stanza, narrator mentioned her father's appearance as Aryan eye, bright blue. The writer examined her powerlessness, nature, and oppression through the historical factor of fascism.
Thank you.
Hello viewers, good evening. I am your Janet. Today I am going to ask the question about the World War II. Good evening, Jasmine. Welcome to the show. I am so excited to be with you.
Good evening, Janet. I also so exciting to speak with you and thank you for inviting me in this program.
The audience are waiting for the conversation. Shall we move the interview?
Yeah, of course.
Could you explain about the time period of World War II and where did it occur?
World War II began in Europe on September 1st, 1939 and it lasted until 1945.
Why did World War II started?
When Germany invaded Poland, Great Britain and France responded by declaring war on Germany on September 3rd.
Yeah, because of this incident, that countries faced many destruction, no?
Yeah.
Let me know who fought during this World War II.
In one side, German and Italy, Japan. In another side, France, Britain, United States, and Soviet Union were fought.
Who was the leader of this World War II?
The Allied powers were led by Winston Churchill from United Kingdom, Joseph Stalin from Soviet Union, Charles de Gaulle from France, Adolf Hitler from Germany, Benito Mussolini from Italy.
From my knowledge, Hitler was the main leader of this war.
Yes, Hitler is the main reason of this war, and not only Hitler, but also Mussolini was the famous leader in World War II.
How did World War II end?
Adolf Hitler committed suicide, so the war in Germany ended. And Hiroshima and Nagasaki were attacked by the firebombing, so Japan out of the war. The main countries, Europe and Japan, were withdrew from this war.
Thank you, Jasmine, for sharing lots of information of the World War II. It will be help for the students' studies.
Okay, thank you for giving this opportunity to me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, all of you. Today, two ladies are with us to join this show to interact with us. Let them introduce themselves.
Good morning, I am Vinusha. Good morning, I am Jerome.
Today, we are going to talk about German Nazi regime, and we all have heard about this, right? And we have some question about this. Who are they?
Adolf Hitler and his army force is the far-right authoritarian political ideology. It was frequently referred to as Hitlerism.
Right. If we are still talking about them after so many years, it means they have done something, right? That's my question. What did they do?
The Nazi regime in Germany, led by Adolf Hitler, committed many atrocities during World War II, including genocide of Jews, homosexuals, and other groups deemed undesirable. They also invaded, occupied many countries throughout Europe, leading to countless death and destruction. The regime was eventually defeated by Allied force in 1945. The Nero trials were held to hold Nazi leaders accountable for their crimes against humanity. These war crimes against humanity, it was the biggest crime of Nazis.
Right. Every time we expect a perfect reason for the actions. So why did they do that?
Because they thought that Aryans are superior. Aryan race is capable of ruling the world, and all other races are inferior to Aryans in beauty and knowledge. In this racist world that emerged in Germany in the 20th century, also the basic aim of Nazism against democracy, egalitarianism, and capitalism is that the German race is the noblest race of the world with pure Aryans. This racism was the main cause of World War II. So, Hitler created Nazism and killed many Jews and conquered countries only for two main reasons. The first is to ignore the Jews. The second is building a noble Germany. That is why he came to power. After that, Hitler and his forces fought many countries and conquered those countries. He also conquered territories belonging to the people in Germany and gained significant popular support.
You both responded well. Okay, it's time to end the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon to all. We warmly welcome you all for this interesting interview about a masterpiece of Sylvia Plath, the poem Daddy. For this interesting topic, I would like to introduce Miss Madhuja, the literature student of our institute. Yes, of course, the poem Daddy describes a feeling of oppression, her battle to come in balance. I definitely know that some of the stanza express about the Jews and comparing to her father and male domination. According to this poem, I would like to ask who are Jews and what happened to them in Holocaust time.
Hi, I'm Madhuja. I'm a literature student of ATI. Thank you for this kind welcome. Here I am sitting to acknowledge about the poem Daddy by Sylvia Plath. Let me come to the question. From 1933 to 1939, Nazi leaders aimed to roll back the legal status German Jews had enjoyed since 1871 as full citizens. They sought to drive Jews from the economy and make life so difficult for Jews that they would leave Germany during World War II and especially after the German invasion of the Soviet Union in 1941. Nazi policy turned murderous. Larger number of Jews also fell under Nazi control as a result of German military conquest and alliances. In Sylvia Plath's poem Daddy, there are references to the speaker's father, possible Nazi sympathies and German heritage, but the Holocaust is not explicitly mentioned. The poem is a complex work that explores the speaker's complex relationship with her father, who is depicted as both a victim and oppressor. The use of imagery and language in the poem suggests a sense of trauma and struggle of come to terms with the legacy of her father's past, including her possible involvement in the events leading up to the Holocaust.
Well, could you tell me why did Sylvia Plath mention Jews and the Holocaust in the poem Daddy? And what do you think about this?
Sylvia Plath expressed the striking way of her rage against her father. This poem mentioned the Jews and Holocaust. That's why Sylvia Plath struggled in defining her identity against the concerning male oppression with which she faced. She felt like a Jew. She feels that the oppression she has endured under her father's rules is terrible and intolerable, and is comparable to the persecution of Jews by the Germans during the Holocaust. Holocaust meant by the killing of millions of Jews by the Nazis in 1930s and 1940s. Her explicitly mentioned Auschwitz and other concentration camps. Because of this, she goes on to say that after being suppressed and oppressed by German rule, she started speaking like a Jew. Then she comes to the conclusion that because she experiences the same oppression as the Jews, she can relate to them. That's why she mentioned.
Thank you for your explanation. Hope you all got sufficient detail about the Daddy poem. It is time to wind up our interview. Thank you for your kind cooperation for by attending and you had spent your valuable time with us. Thank you.
Good day to you all. We are going to present an interview about father-daughter relations. Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Are you comfortable? May I begin the interview?
Yes, definitely.
Well, first of all, what do you think about the relationship between father and daughter?
A daughter's relationship with their father can play a key role in their psychological development. In fact, when fathers are present in their daughter's life, girls grow up with a healthy sense of who they are. They are more confident and self-assured and have a clear understanding of what they want in life.
Good. Do you know the Daddy poem?
Yes, I know. The poem Daddy has been written by Sylvia Plath, who is known as a famous American poetess and novelist. This poem is about her father.
It was first published in 1965. The poem presents the speaker's grief over the loss of her father. It also shows violence against women and the impact of male domination. The poem also presents a generation gap that is the root cause of their disturbed relationship.
Okay, that's interesting. In this poem, how does the narrator emphasize the relationship with her father?
The bonding between the narrator and her father is not same as like us. Her father has broken her inner heart. The father was cruel and brutal, but she loved him dearly. She was 10 when her father died. She felt sorrow till her 20. She tried to commit suicide because if she died only, she will see him again. At 20, I tried to die and get back. This shows how she felt sorrow regarding her father's death and tried to kill herself. She compares her father to a German oppressor, and she compares herself to Jews.
Is the speaker happy about with her father?
No, the speaker is not happy with her father. He is a cruel or bearing at the same time. She idealizes and loves him. The two feelings are complicated and leave her with a mix of anger and joy. In the poem,